Komika, your friend when you were a child. I know you're grown up now, but I hope we can still be friends. I live in a fascinating world of stories, real and imaginary. It's also full of colorful pictures and friendly people. Yet, I'm not only about stories and fiction. I am also useful, and the team at CDL will show you how.
Listen to this story. The children of Brahmagiri village are very untidy. They do not comb their hair or cut their nails or wear slippers. So, the village school organizes health camps. But there is no change in the children's habits. The school staff wonders what to do. Mahesh gets an idea. He is a member of the school parliament. He suggests that they have a competition. He gives it a catchy name, Healthy Feet, Happy Feet. Oh, how motivated the children are! They have begun to wear slippers and to cut nails. They have even oiled and combed their hair, looking neat for sure. This message in this story is on the importance of basic personal hygiene. Reading this comic, many schools have adopted this idea in their schools. But do you know that it's my story? I thought of it and I drew it. Nice, na? It's not that I'm a great storyteller or can draw like an artist, but we were facing health problems in our village and we needed ideas, solutions. And it was Pensy who taught me and other children how to translate our ideas into pictures at this comic making workshop.
Hello, I'm Pensy. At CDL, we've often wondered if people could be trained to create their own comics. They could use it to inform their communities about issues that made a difference in their lives. The mere thought of this was thrilling for us. In our first comic making program, we helped NGOs in Orissa create their own comics on local issues such as birth registration, alcoholism, and malaria control. Such a refreshing experience. Then, we published this handbook for media practitioners, NGOs, and grassroots workers. In 2006, we took comic making to the next level, working with children. And why not? Here was a medium through which children could easily convey their ideas. Was it possible then to hear their perspectives and concerns through the comic making process? Our first effort was on the issue of child rights. We worked with children to bring out their real life experiences in celebration or violation of child rights. Sounds different, right? We were fortunate to find a partner in Plan International. We partnered with children's clubs in 3 states. It was fascinating to watch the children reveal their concerns on a whole lot of themes, from a simple matter like their right to play to more complex questions like why don't the elders trust us?
We call the comic making series on child rights, It's My Right to Draw. It was a new experience for everybody. The children, Plan, us at CDL, and of course the medium of comics itself. It was a fresh way of looking at old problems, but it required doing things differently.
Soon after, our attention shifted to the children from the tsunami-affected areas. That was December 2006. These children had gone through so much trauma and grief. Did they have something to tell us? We wondered if the comic-making process could help us peep into the mind of the child. Perhaps it could even enable internal reflection. If planners could use these insights to assess the needs of children, and if NGOs could design strategy based on this, then I guess it would lead to child-centric development. This is exactly what TDH helped us to do.
The methodology of our training in comic making could enable us to get into the mind of the child and see the world from their lens. The stories could come out as the child perceived it. Take this case. A school-going boy is unable to study for his exams because his mother constantly is watching television, and so he scores very poor marks. The school teacher calls his mother and tells her that her habit is distracting the child. The mother realizes the need for a quiet and enabling environment for her child to study. She changes her habit and pays more attention to her child's studies. You see, it's a child's point of view that comes across here.
must tell you here that the process is as important as the product. In this 5-day-long process, we first learn some basic drawing skills like lines, curves, human figures, expressions and postures. Then we go on to the concept of frames, gutters, foreground, background and horizon. After this comes the speech and text balloons. Then it's time for storytelling. Each one of us tells a story, a real one, based on our life. One by one, we share real-life experiences, our problems, needs, dreams and aspirations. And now for the comic making process. The stories are developed into 4-panel comic: problem, intervention, process and impact. And finally, an exhibition and feedback.
For the first 2 days of the training, the children have been drawing, so they have enjoyed themselves and are feeling very relaxed. The storytelling and comic making process starts on the 3rd day. Based on this foundation, the results are a surprise to everybody, as you have seen.
A comic is more idea and less of a drawing. Not everybody can draw, but everyone can think and bring in a new idea. At CDL, we take the original story idea and give it a creative treatment. Using the child's story, we introduce a storyline and develop characters that readers can identify with. The storyboard is ready for the artist. We convert this storyboard into a 20-page comic, pencil drawings at first and then dummy comics. We revise these based on readers' responses. And finally, here's the printed version. You can see that the original drawings are still there. After all, the story came from a child.
We have really come a long way, you know. In 2009, we used the comic making process to create stories on water, sanitation and hygiene. This was with the support from WaterAid. We found that not only did the children articulate problems, but also had solutions. Some out-of-the-box ones. I'll tell you one story. One day, Srinivas sees his friend Raju eating and asks whether he had brushed his teeth. Raju answers that he'll do that later. Srinivas wonders why so many children in his school do not brush their teeth when they've been learning about this in school. He discusses this in Bal Panchayat meeting and decides to start a group brushing activity. The children join the activity with interest and they all brush their teeth together in a collective.
Hello, Komika.
Hello, Pansy. Hello, everyone. You notice that the children are totally comfortable with me? That's because with me they can express their innermost feelings without having to reveal who they are. They're also happy to share their unique ideas, simple solutions for serious problems, which may not always strike the adults. I also have other advantages, I must tell you. I can reach out to those who can barely read because they can see me in pictures. Language is no barrier either. I can simplify issues that seem complex. Most importantly, here I am able to get inside the child's mind. And I am child-centered and very child-friendly.
Our work with comics shows how this medium has helped to understand the child's mind. From their drawings, we can identify their needs, personal, emotional, and even community-based. If NGOs can absorb these messages, it's a great input for development planning, using communication for development and social change. If only we are willing to learn, then there's a lot that the children can teach us.
So far, our work has been for children, by children, and about children. But comics can be made on other issues for microfinance, HIV awareness, and adolescent health. That's the bottom-up approach, right? And it's friendly and participatory.
Now you can see why I've stood a test of time and why people are still friends with me. My reach is really wide and I bring together reality with imagination in a very creative way. You can make me as useful as you want.